Newark refused to let them film within city limits. The director had stolen cars himself as a teenager. The budget was slashed by $3 million mid-production. The movie made $2.9 million against a $5 million budget and killed careers overnight. But the soundtrack went gold. One actor is worth $12 million today. Another left Hollywood for corporate America. One died at 44 from a blood clot formed on a flight home from honoring Michael Jackson. This is Newark Drive, the 1995 film that depicted police brutality 20 years before Ferguson made it a national conversation. The city rejected it, Hollywood buried it, the cast scattered. But 3 decades later, this forgotten film looks prophetic. Here's what happened to everyone involved. So Gomez shot the film in neighboring Jersey City and Irvington, smuggling authenticity into locations that would stand in for a city too ashamed to face itself. What Newark officials didn't know was that Gomez wasn't an outsider exploiting their pain. He was confessing his own. Growing up in a working-class neighborhood in Boston, Gomez had stolen cars himself as a teenager, joyriding through streets with the same reckless adrenaline his characters would later embody. This wasn't anthropology, it was autobiography. Spike Lee had discovered Gomez through his raw indie debut, Laws of Gravity, and recruited him to make something bigger for Gramercy Pictures. But bigger came with compromise. Universal Studios slashed the budget from $8 million down to $5 million, then demanded Gomez inject more action, more chases, less character depth. Studio executives complained the script was too focused on elements germane to the basic thrust of the story, corporate euphemism for too much truth, not enough spectacle. Gomez complied, but the tension between his gritty vision and Universal's commercial instincts left the film caught between two worlds, too raw for mainstream audiences, too polished for indie purists. When New Jersey Drive opened in March 1995, it earned just over $1 million its first weekend and closed with $2.9 million domestically against a $5 million budget, a clear financial failure. For Sharon Corley, who carried the film as Jason Petty, the fallout was devastating. Born in Brownsville, Brooklyn in 1973, Corley infused the role with lived-in rage, shaped by poverty and street tension. Critics praised his authenticity, but box office numbers decide careers. Opportunities faded. He appeared briefly in The Substitute and later Shadow Feather 2016, but momentum never returned. By 2010, Corley married Kay Corley, raised 4 children, and walked away from Hollywood. Now 55, he lives quietly with an estimated $500,000 net worth, choosing stability over an industry that moved on. Gabriel Cassius, who played Midget, Jason's volatile best friend, faced a similar plateau. Born in New York City in 1972 to a Haitian immigrant family, Cassius grew up navigating poverty and racial prejudice in Brooklyn. His performance in New Jersey Drive earned him an Independent Spirit Award nomination and seemed to position him for stardom. He followed with roles in Get on the Bus and Black Hawk Down, but leading roles never materialized. Instead of waiting indefinitely, Cassius pivoted to writing, eventually co-writing the heist film Takers in 2010. He continued acting in series like Grey's Anatomy, CSI Miami, and 24, but always on the margins. A marriage in the early 2000s ended in divorce, leaving him to balance fatherhood with career uncertainty. Now 54, Cassius writes, acts selectively, and develops television projects on his own terms. His estimated net worth of $2 million reflects persistence, not celebrity.
The rare exception was Donald Faison. At just 21, he played Tiny Dime, the crew's most skilled getaway driver in New Jersey Drive, injecting raw speed and charisma into every chase. Born in Harlem in 1974, Faison grew up surrounded by art through his parents' work with the Black National Theater, but also exposed to poverty and violence that shaped his edge. While New Jersey Drive introduced him, it was Clueless later that same year, and his defining role as Dr. Chris Turk on Scrubs from 2001 to 2010 that cemented his legacy. Scrubs brought NAACP Image Award nominations, financial security, and long-term cultural recognition. He went on to appear in Remember the Titans, Skyline, and Extended Family 2023 to 2024. His personal life carried loss. After marrying Lisa Askey in 2001 and divorcing in 2005, she died in March 2017. Faison honored her quietly. Now 52, his $12 million net worth reflects resilience, longevity, and survival where others faded. Heavy D, born Dwight Arrington Myers in Mandeville, Jamaica in 1967, lived between Jamaica and New York, using music to define identity amid immigration and cultural displacement. As leader of Heavy D and the Boys, he earned a Soul Train Award and dominated late 1980s and early 1990s charts. On screen, he intensified New Jersey Drive as Bo Kane, a feared local kingpin whose presence raised the film's stakes beyond teenage rebellion. He later showed range on The Tracy Morgan Show, hinting at a larger acting future. Juggling music, acting, touring, and fatherhood to Zia Myers took a toll. On November 8, 2011, Heavy D died in Los Angeles at 44 from a pulmonary embolism caused by deep vein thrombosis. Los Angeles County Coroner Craig Harvey linked the clot to a long transatlantic flight after a Michael Jackson memorial concert in Wales. His estimated net worth, $350,000, belied his vast cultural impact. While the film struggled, the soundtrack soared. The 2-volume, 110-minute compilation became a cultural phenomenon that eclipsed the movie entirely. It climbed to number 22 on the Billboard 200 and number 3 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart. The certified gold single Can't You See by Total, featuring the Notorious B.I.G., launched the girl group's entire career. The lineup read like a mid-90s hip-hop summit. Redman, Outkast, Queen Latifah, Coolio, Heavy D, Naughty by Nature, Biz Markie. The film made $2.9 million. The soundtrack went gold. The music outlived the movie. But perhaps the most prescient element of New Jersey Drive wasn't the cars or the soundtrack. It was the unflinching depiction of police brutality against black teenagers. In 1995, audiences weren't ready for systematic police violence presented without moral cushioning or redemptive arcs. Gomez showed cops beating teenagers, planting evidence, terrorizing communities with impunity. Critics like Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel praised the social commentary, but mainstream America turned away. 20 years later, after Ferguson, Eric Garner, and the rise of Black Lives Matter, New Jersey Drive looked prophetic. Retrospectives in 2015 noted that the disturbing realities depicted in the film were even more relevant in the post-Ferguson era. No other hood film had confronted police brutality as directly, as systemically as New Jersey Drive. The film's raw portrayal of institutional violence and racial injustice became a cultural touchstone, validating the experiences of countless Black Americans who had witnessed such abuses firsthand. What critics once dismissed as excessive or exploitative now stood as urgent documentary evidence of America's unresolved racial trauma. 3 decades later, the cast scattered. Gwen McGee, who played Jason's mother, Renee Petty, continues acting selectively at 67, with an estimated net worth of $1 million. Roscoe Orman, who played the judge and spent over 40 years as Gordon on Sesame Street, is now 82, living in New Jersey, focused on advocacy and storytelling. Christine Baranski, who had a brief role as the prosecutor, went on to win Emmys and Tonys, starring in The Good Wife, The Good Fight, and The Gilded Age, with a net worth of $14 million. Andre Moore, who played Richie, left acting entirely, joined Unilever, and now works in corporate leadership, with a net worth of $1.5 million. Samantha Brown, who played Jason's sister, Jackie, appeared sporadically in Veronica Mars, The Sinner, and Why the Last Man, but now lives away from Hollywood at 49, with an estimated net worth of $300,000. New Jersey Drive was a film Newark rejected, Universal compromised, and audiences ignored. But the soundtrack endured. The social commentary proved prophetic. Survival doesn't always look like stardom. Sometimes it just looks like making it through. Like, subscribe, and share this untold story.
Thanks for watching.